Have you ever been in a meeting and had a thought, a really good one, and you talked yourself out of saying it? Not because you didn't know your stuff, but because of a voice inside just whispering, what if I'm wrong? What if that's obvious and I might sound stupid? That voice has a name, and I call it the imposter story. And left unchecked, it costs women their leadership careers. Let's get really clear about this. The imposter story is not a lack of confidence, or even a lack of experience, or lack of ambition. It's a gap in self-trust. It's the internal story that says, I don't quite belong here. I need to be more certain before I speak. Or maybe I'll wait until I'm 100% ready. So with over 30 years as a corporate leader, I found that leadership moments don't wait for certainty. So every time you hesitate, you're reinforcing that story within you. See, I'm not ready to be a leader. That's the cycle. The imposter story is stealing your voice. If you think this is just you, well, it's actually not. A large 2024 meta-analysis reviewing 40,000 participants across 115 studies found that women experience imposter phenomenon significantly more than men. And this is validated psychological data. To be honest, I prefer to call it the imposter story because it's stories we keep telling ourselves, which means millions of capable women are second-guessing their decisions. They're over-preparing and self-editing in meetings and really carrying the emotional weight of not being good enough. That constant self-monitoring, it's just plain exhausting. And all of this slowly erodes your leadership presence. The imposter story really looks dramatic. It sort of looks more like waiting to be asked instead of stepping forward. Or maybe diluting your language into, I'm not sure, but, and maybe even letting others take credit for shared ideas and staying busy instead of being visible. Have you ever felt that way? Have you stopped and listened to the stories in your head when you hesitated? You don't stop showing up or struggle with your workload. You stop being seen. And leadership isn't awarded for effort. It's recognized through presence. So let's talk about the cost, personally and financially, because this is where the imposter story becomes really expensive. A Harvard Business School study found that when career pathways or role requirements were a bit ambiguous, 22% of qualified men applied for higher level expert roles, but only 6% of qualified women did. They're the same capability, but very different outcomes. And why is that the case? Because the imposter story tells women, wait until you are more ready. And that hesitation leads to missed promotions or slower salary growth, fewer leadership pathways, being seen as reliable instead of being ready, being leadership material. There's also a compounding career penalty. And the biggest challenge is that no one warns women that you don't get feedback that says, we didn't promote you because you doubted yourself. Instead, you hear things like, "You're doing great where you are. It's all good. We didn't see you as stepping into leadership just yet. You're very valuable to the team." Have you experienced that? So the imposter story stays invisible. And because it's invisible, it's often not addressed until one day you look around and you realize that people that you've outgrown have outpaced you. You're stuck in the same role, whereas others have had the promotion. So here's a reframe that I would like to leave with you. The opposite on imposter story is not arrogance, it is self-trust. And self-trust is a trainable inner skill. So here are 3 inner fitness shifts I invite you to consider. So number 1 is name the story. This is my imposter story. It's a story and not a fact. So naming it breaks its authority on you. And number 2 is speak with certainty. Leaders don't wait to be sure. They offer perspective, not necessarily a perfect solution. And number 3 is anchor your authority internally. Stop outsourcing confidence to approval and titles and outcomes. Leadership presence starts from inside. This is what I mean by inner fitness. And without it, even brilliant women struggle. If this landed with you, I would love you to let this sink into your bones. You are not an imposter. You are a leader who has never been taught how to trust herself in moments of visibility. And that can change. So here are some questions I'd like you to consider. What's the imposter story that shows up for you in moments of visibility? Whose voice does it sound like? Think about that. Where is self-doubt costing you right now, emotionally and strategically? And if you trusted your judgment just 10% more, what would you say or do or claim this week? If you want to stop letting the imposter story run your career, subscribe and share this with another woman who needs it. Stay tuned because there's an exciting opportunity on its way. Self-doubt is very expensive, and it's time that women stopped paying the price. Cheers.